Your body may already be warning you, and you don't even realize it. Not with pain, not with a dramatic medical emergency, but with something quieter, something millions of men over 60 experience, and almost never talk about. Lower energy, poor circulation, feeling off, a loss of confidence they can't explain. And perhaps the most emotionally painful part of all, looking in the mirror and quietly wondering if their body is slowly giving up on them. What shocks many doctors today is this. Some of the earliest signs of declining male performance don't begin in the bedroom. They begin in the bloodstream, in the heart, in inflammation, in hormones, and even in your morning routine, especially your coffee. Now, before you dismiss this as another internet myth, stay with me. Because what researchers discovered about one simple ingredient added to coffee absolutely stunned many experts in aging and men's health. And if you're over 50, over 60, or even approaching retirement age, this may become one of the most important things you hear all year. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and on this channel, we talk honestly about healthy aging, without fear, without gimmicks, and without pretending growing older is easy. Because the truth is, your body changes after 60. Hormones shift, blood vessels stiffen, sleep weakens, inflammation quietly rises, and many men begin feeling like strangers inside their own bodies. But what breaks my heart is this. Most people assume it's just aging, so they ignore the warning signs. Until one day, they can't. And today, I want to talk about one small morning habit that may help support circulation, energy, stamina, and overall male vitality naturally. But before I reveal what it is, there's something far more dangerous you need to understand first. Most men think male performance is only about testosterone. It's not. In fact, according to research discussed by the Cleveland Clinic and Harvard Medical School, one of the biggest hidden causes of declining male function after 60 is poor blood vessel health. And this is where things become frightening. Because your blood vessels don't suddenly fail overnight. They slowly narrow, slowly harden, slowly lose flexibility. Like old garden hoses left out in the sun for too many years. At first, you barely notice. You feel a little more tired. You need more coffee just to function. Your motivation drops. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping. And eventually, your body stops responding the way it used to. Many men never connect these signs together, but doctors do, because the body works as one connected system. The brain, the heart, hormones, sleep, circulation, inflammation. Everything is linked. And the terrifying part? The same circulation issues that affect male performance can also increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. That's why this conversation matters so much more than people realize. Now, let me tell you about someone I'll never forget. A patient named Richard came to see me shortly after his 67th birthday. Quiet man, former construction worker, strong hands, tired eyes. He sat across from me and said something I still remember word for word. "Doctor, I don't feel like myself anymore. Not depressed, not sick, just fading." He told me his energy was disappearing. His confidence was shrinking. Even walking upstairs felt harder than it used to. And deep down, he feared something many men are afraid to say out loud. He feared he was becoming old overnight. But after reviewing his labs, sleep patterns, diet, and cardiovascular health, we discovered something important. His body was inflamed. His circulation was poor. His blood sugar was unstable. And every morning, he started his day with coffee loaded with sugar and artificial creamer. What happened next changed his life more than he expected. But before I tell you what he changed, there's another problem affecting millions of men over 60. Morning cortisol spikes. Most people have never heard of this, but it matters enormously. You see, when you wake up, your body naturally releases cortisol, a stress hormone designed to help you feel alert. That's normal. But after years of poor sleep, stress, processed foods, and inflammation, that cortisol response can become excessive. And instead of feeling energized, you feel anxious, foggy, irritable, drained. Your body becomes stuck in survival mode. And here's where coffee can either help you or quietly hurt you. Because what you add to it matters more than most people realize. Especially after 60, researchers studying aging and metabolic health have found that certain ingredients can increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, worsen artery stiffness, and damage energy production over time. And sadly, many older adults consume these ingredients every single morning without thinking twice. Artificial creamers, highly processed syrups, excess sugar, cheap oils, all of these create stress inside the body. and stress ages the body faster. But then researchers began focusing on one natural ingredient that seemed to do something very different. Something surprisingly powerful. Cinnamon. Yes, simple cinnamon. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. Carter, can something that simple really matter? Actually, yes. And the science behind it is fascinating. According to studies referenced by the National Institutes of Health and the American Heart Association, cinnamon contains compounds that may help support healthy blood flow, reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support circulation. And circulation matters tremendously for male vitality. Because without healthy blood flow, nothing functions properly. Not your brain, not your muscles, not your energy levels, and certainly not male performance. But here's the part that shocked many researchers. Cinnamon may also help reduce oxidative stress. Now that phrase sounds technical, but let me simplify it. Imagine tiny microscopic rust slowly building up inside your body over decades, damaging blood vessels, weakening cells, aging tissues. That's oxidative stress. And after 60, it accelerates rapidly, especially in men with poor sleep, diabetes, high blood pressure, or chronic stress. This is why some people feel dramatically older than their actual age. Their body is fighting silent internal inflammation every day. Now, cinnamon alone is not magic. Let's be clear. No spice can reverse aging overnight, but small daily habits create enormous long-term effects. That's what healthy aging truly is. Tiny decisions repeated consistently. And when Richard began replacing sugary creamers with a small amount of cinnamon in his morning coffee, something interesting happened. Within weeks, his energy improved. His afternoon crashes decreased. He began sleeping more deeply. And perhaps most importantly, he stopped feeling helpless. That emotional shift matters more than people realize. Because once a person believes their body is beyond saving, they stop trying. And hopelessness itself becomes dangerous. If you're over 60 watching this right now, I want you to hear me carefully. Your body is not broken. It's responding to years of accumulated stress, inflammation, poor sleep, reduced movement, and hormonal changes. But the human body is remarkably adaptive. Even later in life, that's why men in their 70s sometimes feel healthier than men in their 50s. Because biology responds to habits, not birthdays alone. But before you start adding cinnamon tomorrow morning, there's something critical you need to know first. Not all cinnamon is the same. And this part is extremely important. Most grocery store cinnamon is cassia cinnamon. It's cheap and common. But consuming large amounts long-term may not be ideal because it contains higher levels of coumarin, a compound that can affect the liver in excessive amounts. Instead, many health experts recommend Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon. It has a milder flavor and lower coumarin levels. Now again, this is not medical treatment. And if you take blood thinners, diabetes medication, or have liver disease, always speak with your doctor first. But for many adults, a small amount added to coffee may become part of a healthier morning routine. And honestly, sometimes the ritual itself becomes healing. The pause, the warmth, the feeling that you are finally taking care of yourself again. You'd be surprised how many older adults spend decades caring for everyone else, while ignoring their own bodies completely, until the consequences finally appear. And unfortunately, many signs show up quietly. Cold hands, poor sleep, reduced stamina, brain fog, loss of motivation, lower confidence. The body whispers before it screams. Always. But what doctors discovered next may be even more important than cinnamon itself: movement. Because no food or supplement can fully overcome a sedentary lifestyle. The World Health Organization repeatedly emphasizes that physical inactivity accelerates aging dramatically, especially after 60, when muscles shrink faster, blood flow weakens, and testosterone naturally declines. Even gentle walking can improve circulation significantly. That's why some older adults seem biologically younger than others. They keep moving. Not perfectly, consistently. A 20-minute walk after breakfast, light resistance training, stretching, sunlight, hydration. These things sound simple, because they are. But simple does not mean weak. Simple habits save lives. Now, there's another emotional truth many men never admit. A decline in performance often becomes a decline in identity. They stop feeling confident, desirable, strong, needed. And this psychological effect can become devastating, especially in silence. I've spoken to countless men who smiled in public while privately feeling embarrassed, disconnected, and ashamed. And the saddest part? Most never talk about it. But aging does not mean losing your dignity. It does not mean surrendering your vitality. And it certainly does not mean your best years are over. In many ways, your later years can become your healthiest years. If you finally begin listening to what your body has been trying to tell you, and what happens during sleep may be the biggest clue of all. Because poor sleep after 60 doesn't just cause fatigue. It affects hormones, inflammation, blood sugar, memory, even circulation itself. Researchers from the Mayo Clinic have repeatedly linked poor sleep quality to cardiovascular problems and metabolic dysfunction, which means if you wake up exhausted every day, your body may already be struggling internally. That's why your nighttime habits matter just as much as your morning coffee. Late night sugar, alcohol, heavy meals, stress scrolling on your phone. All of it affects recovery. And recovery becomes more important with age, not less. Your body repairs itself during sleep. That's when hormones rebalance, cells repair damage, inflammation decreases, and blood vessels recover from daily stress. But millions of older adults never enter deep restorative sleep consistently. And over time, their body slowly pays the price. Now, I want to pause for a moment and speak directly to you. If you've been feeling older lately, slower, more tired, please don't ignore it. And please don't shame yourself for it either. Your body changes with age. That's real. But suffering in silence is not the answer. Awareness is powerful. Small changes are powerful. Hope is powerful. And sometimes, one healthier decision repeated daily becomes the beginning of an entirely different future. Maybe that starts tomorrow morning. Maybe it starts with a simple cup of coffee. Less sugar, less damage, more intention. A small amount of cinnamon, a morning walk, better sleep, more water, less inflammation, tiny decisions, repeated consistently. That's how healthy aging happens, not through miracle cures, through daily care. And if today's video helped you think differently about your health, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, not because fear should control your life, but because knowledge can protect it. And if you're over 50 or 60, I'd genuinely love to hear from you in the comments. Have you noticed changes in your energy, circulation, or sleep? Have small habits helped you feel better? Your story may encourage someone else who feels completely alone right now. And if you know someone over 60 who starts every morning with coffee, share this video with them. Because sometimes one conversation arrives exactly when someone needs it most. I'll leave you with this. Aging is not the enemy. Neglect is. Your body has carried you through decades of stress, work, heartbreak, responsibility, sacrifice, and survival. It deserves care now. It deserves attention. And it deserves compassion. Even small acts of care matter more than you realize, especially after 60. Take care of your body before it's forced to beg for your attention. And remember, the healthiest years of your life may still be waiting for you.